She thought I'd beg her to stay. I left her with nothing but silence. Welcome to Breakup Cheater. If it's your first time here, settle in. This story might feel personal because for many, it is. My name is Ethan Clark. And I used to believe that if you built something slowly, carefully, and with real intention, it would last. That was my marriage with Natalie. We had 6 years under our belts. Not a whirlwind, not dramatic, but steady. We started with shared dreams, long days, and a joint online retail business that kept us side by side in a tiny home office. I handled the logistics, the back-end operations. Natalie was the front-facing voice. She ran customer service like a pro. We packed boxes to the same Spotify playlists, sipped coffee every morning before logging in, and bounced ideas like co-founders with wedding rings. There was rhythm in our life. Kind of quiet sync. We weren't flashy, but we were consistent, intentional, solid. But the thing about cracks is, they don't start with a bang. They creep in slowly, quietly. It began when Natalie landed a new job offer. A bigger company, bigger paycheck, benefits, status. It was a great opportunity, and I supported her. I thought it would reduce our financial strain and give her some fresh air. But change doesn't always show up like a storm. Sometimes it slips in through the back door, quiet and patient. At first she just came home later. Then she stopped joining me for morning coffee. Said she was just tired. She was distracted. Always checking her phone under the dinner table. It's work stuff, she'd say, brushing it off. And I didn't question it. Everyone gets busy. But Natalie had never let busy become a wall between us before. Then came the name Tara. She dropped it casually one evening. Tara sits across from me. She's hilarious, total savage. I didn't think much of it. Everyone has work friends. But Tara's name kept coming up. Tara said this, Tara did that. Tara's throwing a rooftop mixer on Friday. Something changed in her tone. Lighter, reckless, like being around Tara gave her a free pass to roll her eyes at the life we'd built. One Friday night she walked in past midnight. Full makeup, curled hair, heels in hand like it was routine. I was sitting on the couch. Not angry, just quiet. Everything okay? Asked. Yeah, she shrugged. Tara's birthday. Lost track of time. You didn't think to let me know? She grabbed a glass of water. I didn't think I needed permission to enjoy myself, Ethan. I didn't argue, but I logged it. A week later I came home early from a supplier meeting. I heard laughter echoing from the kitchen. Natalie was on speakerphone pouring a drink. Girl, if Ethan starts acting weird, just roll your eyes. He's not your dad. Laughter. Sometimes I swear I could disappear for a week and he'd still be trying to communicate. He's exhausting. I stepped into the kitchen. She jumped, then quickly took the call off speaker. Didn't know you were home, she said sharply. Yeah. I noticed. There was a pause. Don't take it so personally, she muttered. It's just talking. I looked at her and said, you used to talk to me. Now you talk about me. She rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. I didn't say anything else. Just walked upstairs. That night I realized something that hurt more than anything. Natalie still lived in the house. But the woman I married had already left. The days that followed. They were cold, quiet. She stopped pretending. Her tone was always sharp. Her patience thin. She criticized how I folded towels, how I answered emails, how I brewed coffee. Everything I did suddenly seemed to annoy her. You act like your opinion is the only one that matters, she snapped one morning. I thought we made decisions together, I said, genuinely confused. Do we? She hissed. Because it feels like I'm living in your project, not our life. I stayed quiet. Logic didn't reach her anymore. The business started to slip. She ignored inventory reports, stopped replying to customers. One afternoon, I asked if she could handle a refund request, something she used to do with her eyes closed. I don't work for you, Ethan. Hire an assistant if you need help. So I did. Hired a smart college intern. Natalie didn't say a word, but that week she cooked dinner twice. and didn't eat a bite either time. Just tossed her plate in the sink. When I suggested marriage counseling, her reaction was brutal. Counseling, she blinked. I'm not the one with the problem. I'm just tired of walking on eggshells around a man who treats home like a boardroom. I said nothing. I didn't want to fight. That's what she wanted, something she could spin into blame. So I started planning. Quietly. Strategically. Just in case. It all came to a head one Thursday night. I got back from a warehouse run. Natalie was standing in front of the bedroom mirror in a black fitted dress, new. Hair curled, full makeup, red lipstick. She didn't even look at me. You going out? Asked neutrally. Yeah. Just a lounge night with Tara. You could have told me earlier. She looked at me through the mirror. Why? So you could guilt me into staying. No, I replied. So I don't sit here wondering where my wife is at midnight. She turned and said coldly, I'm not a child. I don't need permission to go out. I'm not doing anything wrong. That's not the point. Leaving dressed like that with 5 minutes notice isn't communication. It's performance. You always need control, she snapped. It's exhausting. No, I need respect. Communication isn't control. It's marriage. She grabbed her purse and keys. Well, good luck with your expectations, she said, brushing past me. She didn't come back that night. Or the next. By sunrise, I'd had enough. Packed a bag. Wrote a letter. I've tried. But you've made your choice. I'm done trying. Good luck with your freedom. Ethan. I left it by the coffee maker. Walked out without looking back. Checked into a modest hotel. Quiet. Clean. Peaceful. No call. No text. By day 4, I contacted a lawyer. A calm, meticulous man named Jonas Mercer. I gave him everything. Documents. Financials. Business assets. I had already separated my personal savings 6 months earlier when I saw the signs. Natalie never noticed. Then finally a message. You're being ridiculous. Can we talk like adults? Ignored. You walked out without a conversation. Who does that? Ignored. You're blowing this out of proportion. Still ignored. Eventually she stopped asking to talk, and got a lawyer of her own. She went from silence to attack mode. Claims of abandonment, financial dependency, emotional distress. All the standard tactics meant to rattle me. But Jonas and I, we were ready. We had dated records, receipts, correspondence. Our business had legally been moved into my name weeks before I left. A clean, premeditated transition based on her neglect. At mediation, Natalie tried to play calm. But when the numbers came out, when Jonas read her own messages calling the business Ethan's thing, even joking about early retirement, the mask cracked. Legally binding joke. Jonas asked coolly. She had no answer. In the end, she got a minimal settlement. No share in the business. No piece of the assets I had protected. Just enough to look fair on paper. She walked out of that courtroom stunned. Not angry, just confused. Like she couldn't grasp how she lost control of a game she thought she invented. It's been nearly a year since I walked away. I rebuilt. Smaller home. Leaner business. Peaceful routine. I travel sometimes. Nothing extravagant, just to remind myself that I can. Then one Friday night I saw her name light up on my phone. Natalie Chambers. Hey, hope you're well. Just thought about you. Maybe we could catch up sometime. I didn't open it. 3 days later. This year didn't go how I thought. I needed space. Fun, clarity. I overestimated what I was walking into. Still vague. No ownership. A week later, the final message. I'm not asking for anything. I just miss talking. You were always solid. Even when I wasn't. There it was. The soft regret. The slow attempt to rewind. But I didn't reply. Because here's what I finally understood. Some people don't come back because they've changed. They come back because they're empty. And they hope you'll fill them again. But I'm done giving pieces of myself to someone who only knew my value after they walked away. Natalie left the night she knew I was hurting, and walked out anyway. That note by the coffee machine. That was the last time I gave her anything for free. She burned the bridge. I watched it crumble. And now, all that's left is peace. Clean, silent, hard-earned. And I'm not giving it away. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, like, comment, and share it. Someone out there needs to hear it.